Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt O'Ville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have a special guest that is about to arrive pretty soon by the name of the Knowledge Spencer Fearon. He is coming in the building to discuss what took place Saturday night between Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk. And I am waiting for that because we have a lot of uh, completed things to do. Okay, I'll send it to him this way. Cool. All right. And I think that, matter of fact, let's go here. Okay. Let's see here. Cool. Okay, there we go. What will Al Heyman do with Turkey kills the pay per view model? Well, I think he will find something else to do. He may go into hockey or some shit like that. Mama Lou, counterpunch to you. XK shots in the building. Parker wants to dry his eyes. His mandatory is up next. I think he should have it. We can only see your eyes, Kurt. Okay. Jermaine Tate, what's up, my brother? Blessings to you. Blessings to you, Jermaine, in the building. Dubois stole Parker's money. That makes sense. That makes sense. Um, there we go. Accent. All right. Well, you know what though? I mean, honestly, I think if anything, um, I think it's one of those things where Parker was inactive, but then Parker needed to show people that he was still Parker. Parker was on a crusade. After that devastating knockout loss, the first in his career, meaning knockout loss, he had to show people that he was about it. He was that guy still. So Joseph Parker fought four times, four in 2023. This was at the end of 2022, where he was mollywopped by Joe Joyce, right? He was just taken by force by Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce did exactly what Joe Joyce does, and he was no exception. Well, Joseph Parker was like, look, this isn't it for me. I'm going to, yeah, man. Yeah, I did. We got to talk about that too. Yeah, that kind of took me off thought process, bro. Malcolm Jamal Warner. I heard it. Somebody sent it to me. I wouldn't have known. And he just, bro, things happen. It just shows you be careful. Even on vacation, a lot of times you're on vacation, you can let your guard down and, you know, but yeah, man. Prayers go up and out to the family of Malcolm Jamal Warner, aka Theo. Uh, Crazy, man. That's crazy. That is very unfortunate. Quantity over quality in 2023 for Parker. Well, in 2023, he fought 4 times. And the fourth fight was Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. And, in 2024, he fought Zilly Zhang. Got dropped by Zilly Zhang because Zilly Zhang's a hard hitting mother sucker, bro. You know, yo, Big Kurt, compared yo me, how's all? I have been away. I've been good. No, man, you missed everything, man. You missed the fight, man. You missed the undisputed showdown, and it was a showdown. Sean Conway, Kurt, do you think Get Caballo could fight Parker while waiting for Usyk? I just finished that video, and to answer the question in short, should he? Could he? Yes. Should he? No. Because it's almost like, why would you? I mean, it's admirable. But what I notice in boxing it's also a business, right? And Matthew Ryan, skirt. I think that I get Caballo should stay in his lane and do what he is meant to do. You know, I think he should stay busy. I think he should stay definitely active. But do I think he should fight Joseph Parker because the people that's supposed to fight Joseph Parker is not fighting Joseph Parker? No, I don't think so. I think, it could happen if it's the only fight that could be made. Would I like it? Sure, it's a good style up for I get because Joseph Parker shows more diversity due to his mobility, due to the fact that he can move. He's not going to sit there and let I get Caballo well to the body. He made a joke earlier today, or yesterday. I'm going to pull my trunks way up here because he knows I get Caballo is a murderous puncher to the body. So he already knows what could happen to him. He could be stopped just like all those other fighters that have been stopped before him. So he knows of the clear and present danger of a get Caballo. And you would be a fool not to know that you could be damaged or stopped by somebody like a tree chopper, like I get Caballo. Caballo versus Effie would be a good one because it makes more sense. It makes more sense because it's more, I repeat, it's more on the same end, in the same sanctioning body, in their rankings. The WBC, he's the interim champion on the WBC. I get Efe Ajagba is, I think, number 4, I believe he is. He's number 4 in the WBF. The WBC. He's up there. If I was Parker, I'd wait for that title shot. He's in line for. I mean, if Usyk's taking his time, why should Joseph Parker rush? That's what I say. That's what I say. I mean, why not? I mean, but what happens is the heavyweight division comes at a standstill, and then people will wonder, well, why aren't we still getting the fights that we want to see? See, just because we have a definite champion doesn't mean we shouldn't have other challenges in that weight division. I mean, that is a whole division. The division doesn't stop just because one guy doesn't want to fight this guy or right now or whatever. It doesn't work that way. But it doesn't mean fights or fighters should take these unnecessary risks either if the top of the food chain's not taking these risks. So it is what it is. Because 37 is just the start too, not boxing, but in life. Anyway, Fury can win if he invests in the body and stays to commit to it. Well, I mean, he could, but I don't think he will because I think the boxer in Tyson Fury is just, you know, is not all about tree chopping. I mean, he could do that. He could work the body. If I were Tyson Fury, that would be a great plan. Work the body of Alexander Usyk. Have him so worried about the body that you have then access to upstairs. If you show that fighter that I'm working your body and you attack that body viciously, you can then set punches upstairs, or you're more likely to land punches upstairs due to the amount of trauma and pressure that you've done downstairs. So that's how a lot of times a lot of fighters like Mickey Ward, Marco Antonio Barrera, those guys that like to work the body, that's why they're so successful at landing upstairs shots because they've committed so much to the body to the point their primary defense is focused on the body and avoiding those blows to the body, especially if you're a tree chopper and you can chop. Okay. If you can chop to the body and if you have a punch and those punches are affecting you, yeah, they're gonna guard that body more. And when they guard that body more, they have to take, their mind off of the upstairs. Um, it's almost like getting hit somewhere and it hurts, and then someone hits you somewhere else. Look at the regression from Fury year by year. He has been slowing. Bad lifestyle, coking it up, boozing it up, bad diet, amongst other things. It's over. Well, it's not over. It just shows his decline. That's all. Hold on a second. All right, Spencer's ready to come on, so let me send this link to him here on WhatsApp. Hold on just a second, mates. All right. Okay, so be real, y'all. Turkey gonna make Usyk fight Atoma next for 300 million. Bro, if he look, if Turkey had gave him 300 million, you think he wouldn't take that fight to fight Moses Atoma? Now the question is how much Moses Atoma would get, because for him to take a possible ass whooping like that, or a life defining or a career defining win, because if Moses can pull it off and he is what people think he is, oh, it will be something special. It will be absolutely something special. So, as we come on, we have Spencer is in the building.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, man. Blessed and highly favored. How about yourself?
I'm just in the kitchen doing the washing up, mate. That's what I'm doing.
Well, good, man. I'm actually opposite of you. I'm multitasking. I'm cooking right now.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm cooking and doing this live stream, starring the knowledge in the building.
So what's cracking, man?
Man, this last weekend's 5 round knockout, um, Danny Dubois, the aftermath. What is he going to do? What you think he should do? I did listen to your video about Don Charles, and we had a conversation about your good friend there. And what do you think is the best for Don Charles? Do you think he's axed? Do you think he's going to get shelled?
Um, I really do think that's what's going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen, Cut. Simply because they're going to look for somebody to blame, and you know what? It's kind of weird because when they say like I'm never wishing no bad to nobody. But what I am saying is, you got to be really careful of the things or how you treat people. You just got to be really careful how you treat people, especially in this industry. When all you got to do is someone does something bad for you, all you got to do is sit down and wait on God's time, right? I'm not wishing no bad on no one because I actually feel sorry for Daniel Dubois. You know, I think certain of the things that they did in the practices leading up to this fight was absolutely ludicrous. The fact that, you know, them having a party before the fight was absolutely ridiculous, simply because they did that for up against Anthony Joshua. You're not going up against Anthony Joshua here.
Right.
Right? They turned up late for the fight. They turned up with less than 2 hours to go towards the fight. That's when they turned up. They were outside. The dad was issuing out tickets to about, I don't know, 100 people. Right? Then they couldn't get into the arena when they turned up. Daniel Dubois' dad, and this is coming from a very good source. And I think Simon Jordan actually said it, but I knew this before, and I said this on the show yesterday with me and Tundi, where he turned around and said, listen, if they don't get in, Daniel's not fighting. So they had to rearrange. They had to rearrange, so they gave out loads of tickets, and the people came in. And what do you do as a promoter? You got by the balls. And so these people came in. Before that, they should have had drivers that were going to pick them up. The drivers turned up late simply because they weren't being paid. It was like, oh, look, you should be grateful that you're doing it for Daniel Dubois. So
now this is according to Stan.
Yeah, of course it is. And of course it is. I know for a fact that there were sparring partners that should have been paid. And the sparring partners got short oystered out of money because they should have got X amount, and the dad said, no, I'm giving you half of the money now. So a lot of the sparring partners didn't even turn up. These are all things that bring a bad energy into your camp. You could clearly see when Daniel Dubois came into the arena that he didn't look at ease. It wasn't the same guy that we saw who turned up to fight Anthony Joshua. You could see by the ring walk how nervous he looked.
Mm-hmm.
He did look nervous, right? And I was saying, that's okay looking nervous, but there's nothing wrong with having nerves. But it looked like you were overawed by the whole situation. So I'm not gloating and like, look what's happened to you guys. Because to tell you the honest truth, Don Charles had to take the kind of stance that he had to take because that's where you're earning your money from. But I know that how you've been treated, you have literally sold your soul, right? You literally sold your soul just to get in there to say you got a heavyweight champion, right? Mm-hmm. And we see this on many times, even in different genres of entertainment where people do this. Don't get twisted. Don Charles is still my brother. I've known Don Charles since I've been 12 years old. He's my senior because he's quite a few years older than I, right?
Right.
But regardless, like when you compromise yourself, the compromise will compromise you. And that's what's happened, right? Because I'm telling you, I saw the video that you made where you saw Daniel Dubois shove Don Charles. I'm not going to read too much into that because I strongly believe that Daniel Dubois is on the spectrum of autism. So I kind of forgive him for the shove, right? And the only reason why the only reason why I could say that to you, Counterpunch, is because I'm on the spectrum. But the thing is, and that's why I could do crazy things with memorizing fight dates and stuff like that, because I'm on the spectrum. But there's different levels of being on the spectrum. I would say that he's on the spectrum, right? Lo and behold, and I don't think Daniel Dubois is actually fighting for Daniel Dubois. I think Daniel Dubois is living the vicarious dream of his father, right? I don't think that he actually wants to fight. He's fighting because he knows nothing else to do, right? Remember, he was homeschooled, but he didn't have really schooling. Everything was to concentrate and focus on boxing. So it's not for it's not for me to sit down and say like I'm saying anything bad. I'm saying the truth, and I knew that this would come out because the father, and it's not me speaking ill of the father now, because me and the dad had our rift. My rift was me and the dad. My rift wasn't with anybody else. But like, time is just time to sit down and wait, because whatever's meant to come out will come out, and now it's all coming out now. And now everyone's saying, "Oh, Spence, can you come and tell us? Can you come? I'll talk to you because you're my guy." But I'm saying, like, I stood on the things I said last year. I stand on them. I haven't changed it. I called the dad what he was. I stand on it. But what I'm not gloating over their demise, right? Because you're going up against Alexander Usyk, right? But all of these hangers on, and I know loads of them, and loads of them, my friends who have got mutual friends who are phoning, man, they were adamant that he was going to win. And I'm saying he's not going to win. But if you turn around and say he's not going to win, then you're hating. So I said nothing publicly about this fight, right? I do my podcast each week with Robert Tunde Ajayi. I do loads of stuff for Boxing King Media, Boxing Social, even your channel. I did not mention this fight, right? But I knew what was going to happen, right? I knew it was going to happen, because you can't, you know what I mean? You cannot be that controlling. I told you that the father is like Joe Jackson, right? Period. Right? That is who he is. He's Joe friggin' Jackson, mate. Right?
Yeah.
That is it. And I have no qualms with him whatsoever, because you were greatly exposed on Saturday. Let Don Charles do his job, but you didn't let Don Charles do his job. And I didn't think it was a bad thing that he were in the corner, right? But what I was saying is that he should have been in the corner, as standing up on the ring apron, right? Wow, because everything Daniel was doing, he's looking to his dad. Don Charles had no power in there, none whatsoever, had no authority. And I get it, because when you're a trainer, you live off of the fighters' shit. What they shit, that's how you eat. If they're not shitting, you're not eating. Right? So sometimes you think, oh, well, I don't want to push it and all the rest of it. And it's a big accolade to see you train the heavyweight champion of the world, especially if you devoted your life to be a boxing trainer. I get it, right? But there's on certain things, there's got to be a respect thing there. And if that's not there, then it's going to show up on fight. And like the video that you made, you said, I guarantee you that he's going to get shoved if Daniel Dubois was not to come out successful. And he didn't come out successful. And I'm just saying, in the UK, we call it a P45. When you get your P45, that's your papers that you're no longer employed. He's going to get his P45. If he hasn't got it this morning, he's going to get it in a couple of days.
You know, that was my opinion as well, because I'm thinking to myself, because based on the tone, what I know you don't want to look too far into it, but in what world have you seen a fighter? Well, besides Gervonta Tank Davis, and he really didn't do it. He kind of cussed at his trainer, but you never seen him have any kind of physical.
Never. It's a disrespect.
Never. I mean, okay. Why do you think that took place? Why do you think he did that? Something that blatant. He could have whispered to him, like, hey, get away from me, or if you're that close to me,
you know
like,
what?
hey,
how it goes is this, is the father is very controlling, yeah? You've never heard once Daniel Dubois ever give any credit to Don Charles or anybody else in the team. Never. It's always me and my dad, okay? The reason why it's me and my dad is because the dad has programmed him to be that way. Do you understand? And it's sad because I really do sympathize with the young man, because I know the dad controls everything. And literally, like I said, the dad is the Joe Jackson of boxing.
I made that analogy to it.
Right. That's exactly who the father is.
Yeah. Right. Well, if that's the case, if he has all this control, why don't he train his own damn son?
The thing about it is because the dad will tell you that he don't know nothing about boxing, right? But you do know, and therefore I said to the dad last year, go get your trainer's license and work in your son's corner. Simply because the son is so dependent on his dad, he might as well be in the corner.
Yeah.
He might as well be in there. You know what I mean?
He's calling the shots anyway. He has this great influence over him.
Listen, that's been my analysis from a long time, and it is what it is.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, it's good to know, and it's refreshing to know that you stand on it. And it's almost like, hey, it's unfortunate, but it's like, hey, I told you so. So it
Listen,
can't.
listen to me, yeah.
All right.
I'm just being real, yeah. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
ever jump around and laugh at anybody's demise, right? Because when you do that, your demise is just around the corner, right? But
Right.
I did tell you lot so. I told you lot so, and people, and you were like one of the only ones that really believe me, right? I've got
Right.
no reason to lie, and now everything's coming out in a wash.
Mm.
Everything's coming out in a
So
wash.
so Don Charles is predicted to get the axe. Who do you think will replace him as head trainer?
I have no idea, but what I do know is whoever it is, I wish them the best of luck. What I do know is that originally the dad wanted Robert McCracken, Andy
Ah,
Josh's old trainer. Yeah, he wanted Robert
right.
McCracken, right? He also asked me about Teddy Atlas, um, but yeah, it is what it is.
Whoa, wait a minute. Did you say Teddy Atlas?
Yep.
Do you think Teddy Atlas, with the characteristics and in the personality he has, you think he's going to let Stan Dubois come between him and his
No,
pupil that he's trying
no,
to get to know?
no. That's the whole point. I know Teddy Atlas wouldn't, and that's why I think maybe Teddy Atlas would be a good call for Daniel Dubois because he would definitely help his career.
You know what Teddy would probably do? Teddy would probably grab Daniel Dubois and put him on a plane. Now, I want you to
Yep.
come with me for a minute. Come with
Yep.
me to Jersey, and we need to talk. Me and you talk. I don't want to hear from Stan. I want to hear from you. You're the man. I want to hear what you got to say. What's your passion? You like going to Brazil? I want to hear what you got to say. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? And when he separates Daniel, Daniel might tell him all types of off the wall shit. He might say something that's totally contrary to boxing. Like you said, he doesn't know anything else, and it's quite sad. But um, I did pick up on the fact of how happy Daniel was when he came back from Brazil. So you know
Why?
what I
Why?
mean?
Why? Why? Why do you think that is?
I'm sorry,
Why do you think that is?
because he was exposed to something that he wasn't exposed to before. If you
Yeah,
bring
because
somebody
it was
and you
getting
put
pum
them.
pum. It was getting pum pum out there. That's why he was out there.
Yeah, and he was introduced to culture and things of that nature, and he was. But yeah, the way that man smiled from ear to ear, you could have sworn he was the Joker. I mean, he had his that smile started here and it ended all the way on the other side. He
Yep.
was happy. Talking
Yep.
about my legs still shaking. This man was happy. And then what you said to add to what you're talking about, the guy was happy. You hear him talking about, really, you don't hear him talk about shit, to be fair. You don't hear him talking about much. Well, I don't want to talk. I'm just ready to go. You know, I'm just ready to fight. So there you go. Whereas, I just came back from Brazil. I just came back from Brazil. I'm looking at this guy like I know what that look is. We've all seen that look once upon a time as young men. We know what that means. We're not
Uh,
idiots.
I didn't have that look at 27. I'm very experienced. Like I said, yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, 17. 17 then, some people are faster than others.
right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I didn't. But he came back singing like he was Shabba Ranks. Love Panani bad, love the side of it. Is what it is, man. I mean, yeah, Panani. Exactly. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not going to be laughing at anyone's demise. I wish, but I believe that Teddy Atlas is going to get a phone call. Watch and see.
I think that would be good for him. And I mean, if he
I
still
so do I.
cares, well, the question is now, Spence, what does he do? I mean, he's a millionaire now. He doesn't need money. Do you think the money will do an Andy Ruiz effect on him? Because
No, because
yeah.
you're saying this. Let me tell you this. I told you that's Joe Jackson. I don't believe Daniel Dubois has seen any of that money.
Ah, yeah, he doesn't have access to it. He gets
No,
kind of
I think the dad.
pinched off.
I think the dad is the one that's in control of all that money.
Ah, right. That makes sense. I mean, so that house, because I seen him introduce a house that he bought. So
No,
all of
it's a
them stay in
beautiful
that
home.
house then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So they all stay there.
It's yeah, they all live in the same house.
Oh, okay. Oh.
It's a beautiful home. I've been there quite a few times.
Mm, gotcha, gotcha. I mean, I saw it. I mean, it was a nice home, very nice,
Yeah.
nice size too. But you could tell that, that's not uncommon. A lot of people stay with each other, which is not an uncommon thing. But you would think, man, you don't have a flat somewhere that you can kind of get away. You know what I
No,
mean?
no,
You don't have a cell phone. You don't. I mean, I'm sorry, a PDA, a personal data assistant.
no, no.
My man came out with a flip phone, and I was like, "Oh my God, what are you, 82?"
Nah, the reason being is like you solely concentrate on boxing. And that's what the dad is Troy. The dad has raised his son as a machine, right?
Mm,
But like I
right,
said, he's living he is fulfilling a vicarious dream of his father. Um, right. So that's what he knows. And I'm not knocking that. You know what I mean? You give your
right.
children because bottom line is Stan still got to be commended. In the UK, he's made UK history, being the first brother and sister combination to become world champions at the same time. He's done that. Right? He's done that. Unfortunately, Caroline doesn't speak to the father, right? Because
Mm,
she's managed to escape the cult, right?
right, right.
And it is what it is. But the dad should be commended for what he's done. And he's done things his way. They may not be the right way, but the thing is, this what I do know is that you are very, very motivated by money. You are multimillionaires now, so that must be you served your purpose. But I think it's not. They're not thinking about the millions that they've got. They're thinking about the millions that they should be getting, and now things are going to go tits up for them. And it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, they were well compensated with the overall fight. So let's talk about the fight itself. What could Daniel done, in your opinion, that could have changed the sway of that fight, starting from round one? Ding ding.
He couldn't have done nothing to change the fight.
Nothing at all. Nothing.
What could he have done? What could he have done? This is not. This is
Well,
not. This is not a close to retiring Anthony Joshua, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's not right. This
right,
is a man that is a complete and utter professional. Right? There's a
right.
big difference. There is a big difference. Right? There are certain people that fight because they come into boxing and they realize that they're good at it and they've come into it relatively late, in late age. There's other people that have been groomed to fight. There's other people that have been groomed to fight, but they actually want to fight. And I think Usyk is the person that's been groomed to fight, but actually wants to fight. Right? He really
Makes
does.
sense.
Right? And there is a massive difference. And there's a massive difference in ring IQ. Uh, so when you looked at the fight was won and lost from the first round when Usyk hit Daniel Dubois with a hard right hand jab, and Daniel Dubois kind of looked at himself and think, "Right, what's going on now? I'm getting hit," because you've been gassing out and been overhyped about your performance that you put in against Anthony Joshua, right? I don't
Mhm.
want to get too
Yeah.
serious on your show right now or say something that people are going to get massive sound bites over, but what happened was when he got hit with that shot, right? It was a thing of how is this little man hit me with such a hard shot like this, and that's what happened. And he got hit with a hard shot, and you can see prior to the things that Don Charles is still my friend, but Don Charles was getting too taken away with himself. When Don Charles made the accusation of what kind of God do you serve in Usyk, you cheated us and blah 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 and all the rest of it, Usyk was very peeved. I know because I saw the video which wasn't released by Boxing King Media when Usyk said, "I'm going to knock him out."
Yeah.
Right? That's what
I
Usyk
remember
said. It
that.
didn't get released now, but he said, I'm going to knock him out."
And he normally
Right?
doesn't talk like that, though.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't talk like
Yeah.
that at all. But the way that
Right.
he went out on him, it was, yeah, he took him to school. I've watched that fight many times since Saturday because I didn't go to the fight. Um,
Mm.
I've watched it at home, but it was the best 24.99 that I've paid for this year. All right, and I'm making sure that I watched that fight many times. Seriously, it was an incredible display of boxing. It was an incredible
Did
display
you
of boxing,
say?
and And it makes
I'm
me just
sorry. Did you
realize
say
even more.
24.99?
$24.99, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
What's that? That'd be like $30 in your money.
Oh yeah. I wish I could pay
Yeah.
$30 for that fight. We paid twice as much.
Yeah, West
I paid
America.
65. 65.
It's America. What do you expect? That's how much the fight was in the UK. So,
Yeah, big up UK. Yeah. I need to buy me a flat in the UK because this is killing me
sorry,
over here.
someone just said that Cassius Clay got knocked the F out by Henry Cooper. He didn't. He got floored by Henry Cooper. If you go back to that fight happened. That fight happened at Wembley in 1963, right? And Ali got
Right.
floored by Henry Cooper. Well, he was
Yeah,
thinking,
he stopped it off cuts. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then he got up and then he stopped him the round after. So please stop talking nonsense.
You know something though, you look at Hands of Doom here, the counterpunch Hands of Doom. He is one of the ones that we educate as we do what we do.
Yeah,
See, knock the F out. You know what that means. That means that's like people think Daniel Dubois, and that's going to lead to the next question I'm going to ask you. But knocked out is Manny Pacquiao, Juan Manuel Marquez, December 8th, 2012. That
come
is
on.
knocked the F out. Not,
Yeah,
he got
that's
dropped from a flash knockdown. Come on, bro. Come on. And it's almost like people, when they did start and they talk more about the fifth round than the ninth round, I kind of found that strange. You talked about Usyk and Dubois, and you talked about the fifth round and the fifth round and the fifth round and the fifth round and the fifth round. But wait a minute, what happened in the ninth round? Let's talk about the whole fight in its entirety. So it was, and another thing about Daniel to me, I think what kind of got him disturbed is when the face-off, I don't remember his name, the face-off interviewer asked him about the jab. Did the jab hurt you, Daniel? And he was like, I don't even want to talk about that shit. And he kind of got, a bit
he got a little
disturbed.
agitated. But
Yeah, he got agitated.
bro, that is just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Like I said, I'm not wondering nobody's demise. But how short-lived was your parade of victory, right?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And because of that, like I'm not laughing at nobody. I just knew that was going to happen.
Right. I mean, it happened and it happened. So that leads to the question of how that happened. What do you think, in your opinion, Spence? Do you think Daniel quit or was he knocked out legitimately? Because this is now the debate.
You know what?
Did he
Listen
quit?
to me. He didn't. I thought he was going to quit the first, but you know what? What is this? He doesn't know how to compute when things aren't going your way and you've been flawed, what to do. Similar to kind of like Frank Bruno. Frank Bruno was a person, yeah, that he got knocked out. He got knocked out once in 1984 by Bone Crusher Smith, right? 84, right?
84,
In the 10th round, right? But before him getting knocked out, he was getting hit with shots in the 10th round, and Bone Crusher Smith, he could bang. Bone Crusher could bang. Like, Frank Bruno didn't know how to hold or to grab him. And unfortunately, Daniel Dubois kind of got the same problem. When he's under pressure or people are throwing him, he doesn't know how to hold. He doesn't know how to take a knee. He doesn't know how to compute that. So when he was being under attack and he got knocked down the first time, I thought, oh, okay. He was down and I thought, he's going to quit here. And he looked to the corner and I think his dad must have told him to get up, and he got up. But in the second knockdown, it was a hard shot and he was dazed as well, and he just doesn't know how to compute well. You know what? I need to get up now. And he waited till the referee counted 10, and then he got up. You know what I mean? So people saying that he quit. I think that's a very strong word. I wouldn't want to use that on the young man to say that he quit. I thought he quit. I know that he quit against Joe Joyce, and he did quit in the first Usyk fight. So, and if you quit against a jab, and it was a jab that made you quit against Joe Joyce, it was a jab that made you quit against Usyk, the first fight. Usyk in the back of his head is like, it may get tough because he's a very strong guy and he can punch, but all I got to do is survive those bursts of punches, and he's all mine. So, yeah. And that's what happened. Right. So no, I'm not gonna say that he quit. I think he succumbed to being knocked down, And by the time he regained his senses, the referee counted 10 and then he got up.
So he just got hit to the point. I mean, that left did land hard, and for people to say he quit is almost like taking the credibility out of the punch that landed. It was a beautiful shot.
It was a hard,
It was the
beautiful
shot.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot, that
man. And for one, it was hard, and for two, it was coming from the backhand, and for three, he didn't know it was coming because he was just trying to deliver his own shot in a way of desperation because he knew, I'm hurt. I just got up. I have to show this man something. I threw the right hand. He slipped it, and then boom, there comes the left. And a lot of people are saying, man, he quit. He wanted a way out. He was this, he was that. So you think he was hit that hard to not know where he was at for a second, and by the time he figured out, let me attempt to get up.
Then it was too late.
Then it was too late.
Yeah, okay. That was too late.
I mean, I think the punch is hard enough, and I think the oxymoron is, well, you say you can't say Usyk's not a beast if Daniel quit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So so you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, exactly. Daniel Dubois was just taken to school, and you could see when he was going back to the corner, it seemed to me like everybody was looking for their soundbite. In what to say in the corner, because they had Karen Farrell in the corner, they had Don Charles in the corner, but Daniel's attention was solely to his father. So when things were talking, Daniel was looking at his dad. And the thing what I was saying before is like Daniel was never attributed anything to Don Charles on the work that Don Charles has done with him. He's had some really good wins under Don Charles. The big Baby Miller win, the Hergovich win, and then the Anthony Joshua win. Right? That was superb wins. But all of those times in those fights, it was always him reverting back to his father. So, it is what it is. I still wish them nothing but the best. But I'm keeping this thing totally 100. Whatever energy that you've got for me, I've got the same energy back. You show me love, I show you back. You know what I mean? You show me hate, I'm not necessarily going to show you hate. I'm just not going to business with you. And that's what it is. And right now, I know it's very daunting for them. I know it's definitely daunting for the father. I know that for a fact it's very daunting for the father. And off of the back of that, we shall see what's going to happen now. I really do believe that Don Charles is gone. I agree with when you made that brilliant video last week. I really do believe that Don Charles is going to be out of the picture. I'm not wishing on him. I just believe that you're gone.
Well, I mean, the video, I appreciate it, but the video wasn't just to wish bad on Don. It's just based on what we've already seen. The evidence that we've seen.
I know.
Backstory,
But what we have in this world now is if you say anything that is seemingly remotely negative, you're hating or you're this or you're that. No, we're seeing this because we have the utensils to paint a picture.
Right.
All right. And the picture that we're seeing, Kurt, is not a very good one. You know what I mean? Not a very good one. Even if you have the best intentions to draw the picture, to paint the picture is still going to be the picture. And it's going to be through your own interpretation of your eyes how you're going to see that picture. But what I saw...
You see it, yeah. You only write what you can see. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. What I saw is seriously somebody that is going to be hoisted from their position. Because nobody else is going to take that bullshit. And I know this because I know many trainers that have been involved with Daniel Dubois over the years, right? But the dad always wanted to be overly involved. And the next thing, people are saying 70 million. Daniel Dubois didn't earn 70 million for that fight. Right? It's impossible. No. Do the maths. It's impossible to earn that amount of money.
71 million? You don't think he's going to make 71 million?
No way did he make that money. That's nonsense. He made a lot of money, but nowhere near that. But he made a lot of money.
Well, I mean, the taxes and everything like that. So you
don't even forget about the taxes. There's no way on earth that he earned that amount of money.
Right.
It's impossible.
I know a lot of people have speculated that, so you think they fabricated the price of what he made?
Man, seriously, it's like people get taken away by what you see written on the internet, and you run with that. Oh my God, he must be making. Come on, man. And the next thing, let me tell you this now. Someone just said looks like Spencer is hating on something. I'm not hating on nothing. See, this is the thing is this. You see with me, why people can't take me? Because I speak my mind. Right? I don't need no new friends. I'm not trying to upset people. I speak my mind. I speak it as I see it. Now, if that means that I'm speaking as I see it and people want to take offense to it, then that's your business. I know wholeheartedly because, like Kurt knows the deeper reason. When it came to my beef ain't with no one. My beef was with the dad, which I explained to people. My beef was with the dad because he tried to do a smarmy move. But then loads of people within boxing, the dads tried to do smarmy moves with. So, and that's it. So what is it? What it is. But I still wish the dad all the best. I don't wish him no bad. Right. But now it's there, and people know I work within boxing and I work within sport. So when my opinion is being asked, I'm going to tell you my real opinion. Not an opinion like I'm trying to sugarcoat over things, no. Because those same people will say, fuck Spencer. That's what they be saying. So therefore, I'm just matching the energy. I'm just keeping the temperature the same kind of shit. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to put no cold water. If it's hot water, I'm putting bubble bath in it. That's how I am.
Right. No, understood, man. In moving forward, I'm hearing the narrative now, and I want your take on this, okay? Because I know you got things to do, but I have to ask you this about Usyk. He is the cash cow. He is an all-time great. He's an all-time great. However, if he's not going to retire, what should he do now? Because I'm hearing this. The reason I'm asking you this is I'm hearing this narrative from different people. Oh, well, I mean, he can do whatever he wants now. He's earned this, so he can do basically whatever he wants. What is your take on that?
My take is that I think that Usyk should retire.
Okay.
Right? Because you got to think about it. Right? You've beaten the best of the last generation, right? And you've beaten the guy who's meant to be the next generation in Daniel Dubois. You've beaten Joshua twice. You've beaten Fury twice. The only one that was there should have been Deontay Wilder, but unfortunately Deontay Wilder came a cropper against Zhang and then came a cropper against Joseph Parker. You've beaten the best of your generation. You can hands in your heart and say, well, I can retire.
I mean, I ain't mad at it. I mean, if he retires, because he has nothing else to prove to me. You know, especially he's older than all these guys. He's older than all of them.
Exactly.
So, see, he's done what he's done. He's done what he's done in the amateurs. He's done what he's done in the weight class below this one, which is the cruiserweight, and of course, the creme de la creme, the heavyweight division. So, no, I'm not mad at that whole solution or result of his career. I think he should retire too. But
exactly.
But since he's going to stay around, what do you think he should do? If he's going to stick around, if he's going to hang around with the belt? If he's
going to stick around, then I'm a kind of fair person, and I like to see Joseph Parker get a shot because he's earned his shot. And the next thing, if Joseph Parker had fought Daniel Dubois in was that a few months ago? If he'd have fought Daniel Dubois, was that in February? Joseph Parker would have beaten Daniel Dubois.
Counter punch. Come on.
He would have beaten him. I'm telling you that now. Because Joseph Parker is a well-adapted, a man that things ain't gone his way. And I rate Joseph Parker and I also rate Andy Lee. Joseph Parker would have beaten Daniel Dubois. I want you to know this now. Right? Because this is about boxing IQ. And Joseph Parker has seen that he can nullify punching power. Because Joseph Parker has been with a murderous puncher in Deontay Wilder. He's been in with a murderous puncher in Zhang. He's beaten both of them, so he knows that's not like firepower. What would Daniel Dubois brought to him, right? And also, Daniel Dubois is susceptible to overhand rights, even though it's from a southpaw position. Well, when Usyk threw it from a southpaw position, he caught him with that heavy right hand. It was like a semi-hook kind of thing that knocked him out. So on this here, no doubt in my head, I believe that Joseph Parker would have beaten Daniel Dubois, and I don't think Daniel Dubois was that ill while he pulled out in the fight.
Are you reading my brain? Are you pulling it out? Are you just because it didn't make sense to me.
But you know, it is what it is.
And
on that note, Kurt, I'm going to
uh,
have. I've got my desserts to eat, right? Right?
All right, bro. Man, it was a pleasure, man, you coming on. Thank you for coming in. I'll see you on the next one. God bless. And everybody in the chat, you've been counterpunched. Appreciate you, brother. See you on the next one. Peace.
Love, my bro.
Okay, brother. Much love.
Thank you so much. Later, boss.
Okay, brother. Peace. And that was Spencer Fearon giving his fair but firm take on Daniel Dubois, Stan Dubois, Don Charles, and the whole experience, the team, the debacle, the party. I thank you guys for showing up. I know it's late. I know it's been busy, bro, and I'm going to stay busy. Counterpunch Boxing News, we never close, open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It's always going to sway. Bars. It all makes sense now. Yeah, it does. It does make sense now. A lot of things make sense. And if you guys did, I know you guys have caught this interview, but the last interview with Spencer Fearon, I will find it and post it and pin it so you guys can see the backstory of how the dysfunction was starting to unravel between Team Dubois. It just didn't start. It didn't start with that damn party. It started with Don having to compete with Stan because he's trying to. Because it's almost like Deontay Wilder and Mark Breland, right? With the whole you can't train them the way we want them to train them. You got to train them this way type shit. It's almost like that, but worse. But yeah, I thank you guys for coming on Boxing Antics TV. I'm going to jump off of here. I got some more work to do because I'm not through. So this surprise interview is just for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. God bless. Stay safe. See you tomorrow. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.